Imagine being flung 70,000 light-years from home, your starship crippled, your crew cut off, and every decision you make determining whether anyone survives the journey back to Earth. What if you were the one calling the shots? Would you stay true to Starfleet ideals, or bend every rule just to see another sunrise? That's exactly the challenge in Star Trek Voyager, Across the Unknown. A brand new survival strategy game that dares you to rewrite one of Trek's most dramatic sagas. Welcome as we explore the future of gaming. If you love discovering ambitious strategy titles and the stories behind them, hit that like button and subscribe, because this one could be the most exciting Trek game in decades. Voyager's story was built for survival. From the very first episode, Voyager stood apart in Star Trek lore. The crew was hurled across the galaxy into the Delta Quadrant, far from the safety of the Federation, and forced to survive on sheer ingenuity. Think about the Year of Hell arc, where Voyager limped from battle to battle, desperate just to keep the lights on. Scarcity wasn't a twist, it was their way of life. Now imagine taking that premise and turning it into a game where every tough call Captain Janeway once made is suddenly yours. That's the heart of Across the Unknown. Who's building it, and why that matters? Behind the project is Games Excite, with publishing handled by Daedalic Entertainment, a studio known for narrative-driven adventures, but now venturing into full-scale strategy. This isn't just a fan project, it's fully licensed by Paramount, so expect authentic lore and official visual assets. And there's a tantalizing rumor: some of the original Voyager cast may lend their voices. Nothing confirmed yet, but even the possibility of hearing Kate Mulgrew's Janeway or Tim Russ's Tuvok again is enough to excite Trek fans. Your ship is the game. Across the Unknown begins with Voyager on the brink of collapse. Bulkheads ruptured, power conduits blown, life support failing. Your mission: keep the ship alive while guiding the crew through uncharted space. You'll rebuild the ship deck by deck, patch hull breaches, reroute power, restore vital systems, and decide which rooms get priority. Do you invest in crew quarters to keep morale steady, or pour scarce resources into research labs that might unlock the technology you need to survive? It's a gameplay loop that feels like FTL meets RimWorld, but wrapped in the unmistakable atmosphere of the Delta Quadrant. Living with scarcity, Voyager's writers love to push the crew to the brink, short on replicator rations, desperate for deuterium, or bargaining with shady Delta Quadrant traders. The game captures that same tension. Food, energy, morale, and crew health are all limited. Stretch rations too far, and you risk mutiny. Burn through supplies too quickly, and you might run dry before finding the next friendly port. Internal politics will surface as well. Remember the uneasy alliance between the Maquis and Starfleet crew. Expect those old tensions to test every decision you make. Research and the Borg temptation. Of course, no Delta Quadrant story is complete without the Borg. Research in the game is a double-edged sword. Stick to safe, Federation-approved upgrades, better engines, stronger shields, or dabble in Borg technology. Go down that path and you'll unlock powerful enhancements, but risk consequences you might not be able to control. Will your crew embrace the efficiency of cybernetics or fear the creeping shadow of assimilation? It's the kind of mortal tightrope that made episodes like Scorpion unforgettable, and now you get to decide. Away missions with real consequences. Star Trek has always thrived on the drama of the away team, and Across the Unknown leans into it. You'll hand-pick teams: Janeway, Tuvok, Paris, maybe Kez, balancing their talents against the mission ahead. Diplomacy, science, combat, you choose the approach. But failures carry weight. Sometimes you'll rescue a stranded colony. Other times, you'll lose a valued officer for good. These aren't just side quests. They're gut-punch moments that will shape morale and the ship's future. Exploration and escalating threats. The Delta Quadrant is divided into 12 massive sectors. Every planet, every anomaly, every strange signal you investigate could be a lifeline or a disaster waiting to happen. linger too long, and a red threat meter climbs, representing the quadrant itself turning hostile. Maybe you negotiate with a suspicious alien race. Maybe you open fire. Maybe you retreat and hope to fight another day. Your calls will shape the story, just as Voyager's weekly encounters once did. Learning from past Trek games. Trek games have a mixed history. Star Trek Elite Force back in 2000 let us join Voyager's secret hazard team, fighting the Borg and exploring nightmare derelicts. It remains a classic. Bridge Commander nailed the fantasy of commanding a starship's bridge, and modders even swapped Voyager in for the Galaxy class to live that dream. More recently, Star Trek Infinite promised grand strategy, but stumbled with shallow systems and abandoned updates. Across the Unknown seems to have studied those lessons carefully, aiming for deep mechanics and long-term replayability while keeping Trek's character-driven heart. Release window and community buzz. So when can you play? The developers haven't announced a firm release date yet, but inside forums, there's speculation of a closed alpha, late 2025. Fans are already asking for mod support and long-term updates. Lessons learned from Infinite's abrupt end. If Games Excite delivers, we might finally have the Star Trek strategy game we've been waiting for. Voyager's weekly rhythm was simple: survive, improvise, and when the stars aligned, pull off a miracle. Across the Unknown captures that same energy. Every decision, whether to embrace Borg technology, risk a dangerous away mission, or ration your crew's final meals, will write a new chapter in Voyager's story. So here's the question for you. Would you push Janeway into risky alliances and take the Borg tech just to survive? Or would you cling to the Prime Directive and hope you can make it home the hard way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see how you'd navigate the Delta Quadrant. If you enjoyed this preview, give the video a like and consider subscribing. It helps us reach more Trek fans and keeps us exploring the frontier of gaming experiences. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your sensors tuned for the next big leap in strategy gaming.